Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to technically Takahashi City in Okayama Prefecture. And we are going to take a stroll along the Fukiya Village. And so we are really far away from the city center of Takahashi, but we are going to take a stroll. Hello! Alright, we're going to take a stroll here through the Fukiya Village. And it is a very, it's a small town. It's just got one road going through it. And you can see it's almost like time has frozen here. Okay, it looks like a cycling competition was here. The Hill Climb Challenge Series back in 2011. So anyway, this is a very well preserved historic village, and this town was actually pretty prosperous in the past. And actually this is kind of the main entrance into the village, and right down there is the parking lot. So this is a Golden Week. It's a Sunday. And you can see even during Golden Week, it's not that crowded. And I haven't seen any foreign tourists here. So I'm sure if you come here during the week or even outside of Golden Week, it would be fewer people than what you see in this video. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a it was a very prosperous town. There's a copper mine not too far from here. And the people who lived here worked in the mine, so some of these families were very, very wealthy. Today these buildings have been very well preserved and turned into little cafes and shops. And in fact, just up here on the right, you'll see where we had lunch. There's a person from Nepal who has opened up his own restaurant inside one of these traditional houses, and he makes authentic Nepalese curry. It's a meat curry. And you'll notice the color red, this kind of dark colored red on all of these houses, and that's the pigment that they use. It's called Bengara, I guess is the English pronunciation. So here it is. This is the place where we had lunch. It was very, very good. Recommend it. So lots of little restaurants and cafes here. You can see people have set up some stands selling some sweets. So this Bengara pigment is used for many different reasons, and it's used for dyeing fabrics, and a lot of the local arts and crafts here use that pigment. This is a public toilet, actually. Yeah, and this restaurant up here on the right seems to be very popular. People have been waiting pretty much all day. So some of these houses, as I said, are owned by very wealthy families because of the copper mine. And today, some of them you can actually pay and go inside and see what they look like. And actually, if I can, I'll take you inside one of those houses in this video. So there you go, you can see some of the fabrics here. Yeah, it looks very elegant. They make scarves, bags, hats, dresses. And they do have these little golf carts here. They take people around to some of the places that are a little bit farther away. For example, here, this is the former Fukiya Elementary School building. Looks really nice, actually. So, wow, look at that. And here's the post office. And the pigment is actually used on these houses to protect them from fire and from the heavy rain. So it has multiple purposes, and dyeing is one of those, as I mentioned. Then here, this is a sake brewery. It's a Nagao sake brewery, but it's empty now, but you can see the building itself has been preserved. And then over here, they still make sake, I guess, and they sell it here. Here's a coffee shop. So this place is pretty much off the radar for a lot of people. Even a lot of Japanese people don't know this place. So if you can make the trip out here, it's definitely worth it. And this is the Fukiya Folk Museum here. So I think I may go in there just after I finish filming here. And then maybe the Katayama Residence is here, maybe. Yeah. So here. This one looks a little bit more modern, recently renovated maybe. So to get here, you need to go to Okayama City, which you can easily get there by bullet train from Osaka and Tokyo. It's a nice view looking down onto the town. And then from Okayama, we rented a car. It was about an hour and a half from Okayama Station, going down some very narrow lanes, very narrow street, just a one-way, going through the mountains. But getting here was really beautiful, really nice nature. And then we had free parking here, as I showed you at the beginning of the video. So we're getting close to the end of the village here. So as you can see, you can walk through it in about 10 minutes. But definitely take it slow. Enjoy the nice restaurants and the museums. Do some shopping. And this is a shrine here. We're gonna go up these stairs. There's a Little shrine up here. There it is. Nice peaceful shrine here in the back of the village. And of course, beautiful, beautiful views up here from the top onto the countryside of Okayama Prefecture. You see some of the beautiful mountains there in the distance, and also you can see the village right down below with that classic red color. Alright, so that's a quick walk here through the Fukiya Village, and like I said, I'm going to go into the museum in one of the old residences, and if I can film, I will bring that to you. So anyway, let's keep going. I'll see you later. Bye. Alright, so now we are going to go into one of these old historic houses here. This is the Katayama Residence. We're going to go inside and take a look around. I've already bought a ticket, so we can go inside. And they said it's okay to film. So, just give you an idea of what some of these houses look like on the inside. This was one of the wealthiest families that lived here in the Fukiya Village. I guess this is the kitchen area here, the cooking. You can see the sink area here. And then over here to the right is the living space, the bedrooms and the office and things like that. In the back, let's go back here. They got some warehouses, and you can really learn about the history of Bengara, the production. So the Katayama family, as I said, was a very wealthy family here in the Fukiya Village, and they owned a business in the Bengara production industry. Their business was successful for over 250 years. And so there are a few houses like this that are open to the public today, and you can buy a single ticket and have entry to all of the different places. There's also a museum just across the street, which is what I showed you when I walked through the village. I'll be going over there next. Yeah, so you just see the old traditional buildings, and you can imagine a lot of people working here in the past and producing the famous Bengara, the Japan red as they call it here. So anyway, like I said, it was 1,000 yen, or about $10, and you can get entry into 5 different locations very quickly. Take you through the living space. You got to take off your shoes, and you can actually go upstairs, but it's super steep, and I'm not going to do that again. But I think this will kind of give you an idea of the residents here. Very old, traditional Japanese style. This is for the family altar. There it is, the inner garden here that a lot of old traditional Japanese houses have. So anyway, that is a quick run through here at the Katayama Residence, and then next I'll go over to the Folk Museum across the street. Okay. All right, everybody. So this is the Folk Museum here for the Fukiya Museum, and just across the street here from the Katayama Residence. And yeah, went inside. We got one ticket, so we can go to all the places for 1,000 yen. Inside the house or inside the museum, it looks really, really similar to the Katayama Residence. So I think if you saw the earlier segment of this video, you probably know and understand what the inside would look like. So I'm not going to show that to you again. But yeah, I think it's probably worth it to buy the ticket and to go to all the locations here in the Fukiya Village. So anyway, we're going to keep going around and taking in the sights. So I'll see you soon. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Bengara Factory Museum. And here's a brief explanation in English, and you can see some information here. It says Bengara is a copper sulfate coloring agent used in a variety of dyes and coloring processes. Wow.
In Bengara here?
Yes. And this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is heritage of the industrial modernization of Japan. And so this is the museum here, the factory museum, and you can see just the color of these buildings itself are very red from the Bengara pigment coloring. So I'm just going to give you a very brief tour here of the museum, and it's just basically the factory itself. And there is some information here in Japanese about the process of how they make the pigment. So I think the best English information is what I showed you at the beginning of the video. I'm not going to go through every building here, but you can just kind of get a feel for this place. So a lot of the tools that they used are still here. You can see like an old-fashioned wheelbarrow here. Ah, it was the other building. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So water mill here. So it's pretty interesting to see. You can see it's going around and around pretty fast. And there it is, some of the tools. Alright, so there it is. That's just a very quick look around the Bengara Factory Museum. We're going to keep going around, so I'll see you later. Bye. Alright, everybody, and welcome to the Sasaune Mine shaft, or actually, more appropriately, this is the copper mine that was used here in the Fukiya Village here. Unfortunately, as you can see here, it is under construction, and we are not allowed to go in. We do have that ticket, that 1,000 yen ticket that allows us to enter all the different places, including this. It is not on the, as I said, it's not open, so we're not able to go in. But anyway, hopefully, if you come here, it will be open at that time. I don't have any information about when it will be open, but this area is about 1 kilometer just outside of the main Fukiya Village area, so not so far away. And they do have a little golf cart thing. They shuttle people around to the different sites like that. So anyway, one of the things I read was inside the mine, it stays a cool 15 degrees Celsius year-round. And so I don't know a lot about mining copper, but apparently just inside this area is a really good location, keeping it nice and cool at that temperature. So anyway, this was kind of the source of all of the riches and the wealth that came in to the Fukiya Village, which lasted all the way up until the 1920s. So anyway, this is it from the Sasaune Miner shaft, or the copper mine, and we're going to go to our last destination for today. So we'll see you later. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Hirokane Residence. And wow, this looks super, super impressive. It's way up there on top of that hill, and it looks like a castle, like a fortress up there with the stone walls. And this is where one of the wealthiest families in the Fukiya Village lived. And it is open to the public. We can go in and check it out. Looks like they light it up at night as well. But this is about 3.5 kilometers outside the main Fukiya city center. And yeah, so this family had they ran the businesses that mined the copper and made the Bengara pigment. So anyway, let's go up these stairs, go inside the residence, and check it out. So I'll see you soon. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the Hirokane Residence. I have now climbed up the hill and entered the residence here, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of it. It is a really nice place, but look at this view here from the top. Just really, really beautiful countryside here in Okayama Prefecture. You can see the rice fields down below. We're getting into the rice planting season here in early May. But beautiful mountains and countryside, and there's the parking lot down below. And actually, we came in on this road here, and it was really, really narrow and pretty scary. It was actually really scary, and that's how we came in. But I definitely recommend taking this bigger road down here, so please take that if you're driving a car. And they also have those little carts where they drive people around, and that would be a very good option to do if you don't have a car. So anyway, let's take a quick tour here of the Hirokane Residence here, and as you can see, really, really huge house, even on modern day standards. So you can imagine back in those days, it must have been super, super impressive, if it's still impressive in 2025. Very nice Japanese garden here. And here, this is an interesting, it's like a musical instrument here, but you pour the water down here onto the onto the rocks, and then the echo comes through this bamboo. You put your ear next to that bamboo, and you can hear, it almost sounds like music as the water drips down onto the rocks down below. So very nice Japanese garden here. And then I'll take you inside the house for a very quick tour to show you what it looks like on the inside. And it's kind of dark in here, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this in the video, but it does give you kind of a peek into what life must have been like for the Hirokane family here. So this is the kitchen area here. This is probably the dining room. You can see all the way through to the back, the other rooms there. Yeah, this was the shower area here. There's the bathtub. Quite modern looking. And then just different rooms like this for storing rice. And then there's rooms over here. These were for the workers. I guess this is where they stayed and slept. Kind of simple, but nice rooms. Of course, they've been very well preserved, and it's very, very clean. So anyway, I think this is just basic view here into this really nice house here. A lot of these rooms you cannot enter, you can only view from the outside like this. But anyway, very, very nice. Alright, so I think this is where I will end the video here. This was a day tour of the Fukiya Village here in Okayama Prefecture in Takahashi City, the Fukiya Village. So, anyway, do you have anything to say?
もう自然がいっぱいです。すごい静かでね、楽しかったです。皆さんもよかったら来てください。
Yeah, and of course, it is Golden Week and it wasn't very crowded at all. We got around.
Why just come to next year?
Yes, maybe we can come here again next year. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please click like, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I'm making videos like this all over Japan. So again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.